Hello, Flosstube. This is Elizabeth Martinez, phantastitches, and this is my Flosstube number 267 times 3. This is the third time I've tried to do this. I have been using this other tablet that I bought for my nephew, and I don't know if it's an issue with the tablet, an issue with YouTube, an issue with the internet connection. I don't know what, but this is the third time I've tried to record this. I don't know. So anyway, I'm using my old tablet, which has been charging okay. It's still a little finicky, but anyway. So I don't know. So I have an FFO, an almost finish, and then of course my WIPGO and other plans for the month of February. So I'm going to start with an FFO. This is Spicy Disaster. It was my New Year's Day, New Year's New Start. And I'm actually going to, I finished it to give it to my sister-in-law. I'm not a hot mess. I'm a spicy disaster. It's got this little kitty. It's got sunflowers. It's got chili peppers, and a little bee up there. And I finished it. It's a kit, Leisure Arts kit by Lee Fisher is the designer. And it came with a hoop to finish it in, like this little wooden hoop. And it came with the threads and some white Aida. And I switched out, because I have a thing about stitching on white, I switched out the white for this Carolina linen that I happen to have. And it's a little bit nicer because the white that's in here really shows up pretty well against this sort of buff color of the Carolina linen, as well as there's some little quarter stitches in this, with the lettering here. It's easier to do with the Carolina linen than it would have been with the Aida. But anyway, so yeah, it came out pretty nice. And this is ribbon that I bought at Hobby Lobby in this fabric. From there also, it's a little puckery. But so I stretched the linen over the hoop and gathered it back there, and then I sewed this fabric on it around the edges of the hoop, and then I wrapped this hoop in the ribbon. And because I wrapped it, and because of the fabric and the sewing and all that stuff, the hoop wouldn't close. I couldn't get the screw in at the top of the hoop to fit. And so I ended up sort of cannibalizing one of my other hoops. The ones I use at Hobby Lobby, or from Hobby Lobby, are these plastic ones that have they have this kind of screw in them. They don't have threads on the plastic here. That's just a screw that goes in there, and the little nut on the end is what tightens the screw. It doesn't turn or spin or anything like that in the end, but it's got that little Phillips head on there, and with the Phillips head and the nut, I was able to really tighten this down and give it a good squeeze, so that it tightened very nicely around that. And then like I said, I had wrapped this in ribbon, and I tied this bow and loop hanger there. And the reason I chose this orange is that I felt like, because when I was stitching it, I had an orange plastic hoop, and I liked the way the colors it brought out the orange in the design and some of the other colors in there. So that is Spicy Disaster by Lee Fisher for Leisure Arts. Excuse me. So that was my New Year's Day, New Year's New Start, and I finished it this month. And my other new start for the month of January that I probably will finish today if I ever get this video uploaded is this by Owl Forest Embroidery. This is Dragonfly and Ant. And I've got everything done except the little border thing across the top. This is in Cyrillic, Dragonfly, and Ant. It's part of their Fable series. And I didn't look to see exactly what the Fable of the Dragonfly and Ant is. You know. But it's a kit. Yeah. And it comes with all the threads and the fabric and everything. So like I said, I hope to finish it today. Yeah. The designer for this is Galina Egorenkova, something like that. Is the designer for this. Yeah. And so that is part of that's one of my second January new start, right? So I had already done the 6 days of my whips, Tiny Monarchs, Sleepy Hollow, and 6 days on my April, May, June, and July rabbits, which are still not done. I thought maybe I would work on them at the rest of this month, and if I finish the Dragonfly and Ant, I might do some more work on those, on either the Sleepy Hollow or the rabbits, for the next couple of days until the end of the month. But we'll see. But so I had the FFOs that I did last year. Last week I showed the elephant and the midnight meow, and my new starts were the two that I just showed, and then the two whips. So for February, the numbers were called on the 25th. Numbers 7 and 11. So number 7 I have as my whip. And Heaven and Nature Sing by Kathy Barrick. And this was all charted in silks, but I used the DMC conversion. And I'm stitching it 2/2 on 32 count, I believe. Linen. And this is Coffee Tea Dyed by me some time ago. And so I worked last year. I worked on some of this at the head of the deer, and I think probably this thistle. So there's another shade of sort of a tan color under his tail and under his body here. That maybe I'll get done this time, as well as maybe trying to finish up his body here. In his head. So I did the collar, and I did this thistle thing, and I did this is the base of one of the trees, I think, or something down here. Yeah, the trunk of a tree. So really, apart from like his antlers and things like that, there's really a bunch of little trees, all around here. So if I can, maybe I can finish a deer or something like that. So that is And Heaven and Nature Sing, and that is my number 7 whip. And for number 7's FFO, I have Squirrel's Night Out. And there's the little stitching. And I don't remember if this was a kit or no. I think I just had this piece of linen. But this little squirrel, he's got his little Halloween bucket thing, looks like. And his little witch's hat. And there's a bird up there. Very cute. And so this is by the Primitive Jewel. And it's designed as a little pendant here. And it comes with this little wooden tag and cording to make a necklace like this. And then instructions for, like, I think it talks about making or buying cording that goes around the little mouse, and then like a flat piece of cardboard or something to mount it on, the little wooden tag. So you can either buy it or you can make it, hand make it out of DMC or whatever. So we'll see how I finish that. And then for my new start, I am starting on the Fox. This is Cottage Garden Samplings, A Year in the Woods, #1 by Vinniey P.S. Tan. This is the designer for Cottage Garden Samplings. And so I'm doing this as my new start for February, but also in February we're doing Sherry Truex Berger is hosting Winter Cross Stitch Camp, and the challenge that she's given us this month, this for Winter Cross Stitch Camp, is to stitch something that's part of a series. And so this is part of a series, the Year in the Woods series, and so I've been wanting to start this, and I had just sort of been busy doing other things, but so this is a perfect excuse. So I'm doing this on the screen 30, I believe it's 32 Camp Bristol. And I have several pieces of this. So my idea is to do two of the animals on each piece that I have. And I have a sort of I'm doing a basic rudimentary little border to separate the two. I don't want to make it too elaborate. A, I don't have the time to do it. And B, I don't want to take up too much space because it's going to be a tight fit for both patterns to fit on this one piece of fabric. So it'll take a total of 6 pieces of fabric and 2 animals on a piece. So like I said, I'm trying to keep the border as simple as possible so that I can squeeze both of those patterns, to try to minimize the size of the finished thing. Anyway, so that takes care of my new start for the month of February and Winter Cross Stitch Camp. Theoretically, with Cross Stitch Camp, you want to, start on the 1st and finish by the end of the month. And since February only has 28 days, I don't know how it's going to happen because it's kind of a lot of stitching, I think, on the Fox. But anyway, so that is my #7 WIPGO, the WIPGO items for #7. The other WIPGO number is 11. And so I am stitching on another Owl Forest Embroidery kit, Monster Wonder Whale. And I've been working on this for a while now. This is probably my 3rd go around because I don't have very many days each time, and I only have 6 days this year. But this is another Owl Forest kit, and since this is one of our larger kits, this is this whale has all kinds of things. There's a house and looks like a church, and then various trees, and there's some little medallions up there. There's a bird. There's some more trees up on top of his tail, and then there's a lot of sort of designs there on his back, and then some ships and fish swimming in the water here. So this is my progress so far. I've got lots of the trees and buildings to do on his back and his tail fin, and all the fish, and another row of the lower row of the water, and all the boats. So I still have a long ways to go on this, but making good progress, I hope. And then for my FFOs for this one, for this number 11, are two designs from Stitching with Housewives. This one here is called Ghoul's Garland. Ghoul's Garland. This little ghost with this garland of pumpkins. Yeah. And then the other item is called Pumpkin Pile, and it was a freebie, little kind of thank you freebie, so there's not a photograph of it. But this is Ghoul's Garland, and this is 2/2 on linen that I dyed myself, this purpley color. I have more of this, and I have one other pattern, at least one other one, called Cataween Cal. It's another Halloween pattern. This is Pumpkin Pile. There's Calvin, their kitty cat, and some pumpkins there. So Cataween Cal is Calvin the cat, like dressed up for Halloween or something, as I recall. So I have more of this fabric because I had dyed a large piece of it originally for the Tiny Modernist Sleepy Hollow, but it was too dark. And so I used it for the Stitching with the Housewives designs. And so I might do Cataween Cal. That might, because I don't have a new start slated for that number for this month. So I might do that just to utilize more of that fabric. I don't know. But so that's all the stitching that I have. And the other stuff is all haul. So I went to Hobby Lobby and Joann's, Target, and the Attic. And I bought a little something at each place. So first of all, at Hobby Lobby, I got not only the ribbon to do the FFO with. I bought the orange ribbon, and I bought some yellow ribbon also because I wasn't sure what color would look best with the design. Because I wasn't sure if the orange was the right shade of orange or whatever. But in the end, I liked the way the orange looked better than the yellow. And I still have the yellow if I want to use it for something. But I also bought this Artiste fabric from Hobby Lobby. You can see there's a little bit of a difference in the color. This is ivory and this is oat. It's a Bristol linen 46 count, each of these. So, this, of course, I will dye because I don't like white fabric. I don't know what my deal is, but I don't like white fabric. But also this kind of natural color, I'll probably dye that as well, just because I do. So that stuff I bought at Hobby Lobby, and then at Joann's, I got this bunny ribbon. It's wired ribbon, and they have a lot of their garden spring kind of stuff out now, and I like that bunny ribbon. And I also bought this hyacinth dye I have purple, but I don't have that hyacinth specifically. And then I just bought another little piece of Monaco, 28 count Monaco. So there's that. And then at, that was at Joann's. And then at, I had just realized when I was at Joann's that I had a Target gift card that I had forgotten about. Because I had been at Target just the day before, I think. And had bought some things there and didn't know I had the gift card. So I may end up having to go back to Target. But so when I was at Target, I was at their dollar spot, of course. I was looking around in their dollar spot. And they had these photo album frame things. And, they're meant to like sandwich a photograph, between two panes of glass. And so it sort of floats, in this frame. And I don't know that a stitch piece would fit in there the same way, but I figured, there's got to be some way to use that for a cross stitch. Anyway, and then the other thing I bought was this, it's just a tray. It's just not meant to, it doesn't have a hanger or anything on the back, but it wouldn't be that hard, I think, to put some kind of hanging hardware back there. But I like that. It just has a sort of slate blue frame finish, and this wooden, it's actually probably MDF. It's not really wood, but finish here. So I think something largish would look very nice in that. And then I went to the attic, and did the most dangerous thing. Went there without needing anything specifically. I went because my sister needed something specific, and I just went along for the ride. And so I just bought some more floss drops, and I bought a few patterns that I hope I don't already have. One of the things, I got Santa's Young Buck, I think, last time I went, and it looked really familiar to me. And one of my viewers pointed out that it's because it's in the Punch Needle and Prona Stitcher magazine, and I knew that is where I had seen it, actually. Once she pointed it out, I realized, oh yeah, that's why I've seen it. Because of course, the patterns that are in that magazine, after they've been in the magazine, after it's been a year, then they're free to be released to the general public. And so that's what happened with Santa's Young Buck, which is a Teresa Kogut design. So that'll probably end up in a giveaway because I already have it. And so I'm hoping that that's not the case with this, but I went ahead and bought it, and because I know that Vonna Pfeiffer had done a tutorial or an article or something about finishing in this star-shaped ornament form, and how to do that. And so this might be in a magazine also. I don't know, but this is called Rudy's Star Ornament. There's Rudolph. I'm trying to not to get the glare here as I get closer. There's his little red nose and his little reins back there. It says Rudy. If you hear somebody snoring, it's my nephew, I think. Sorry. But this is Teresa Kogut. Yeah. And then there was Sing to the Lord, a new song. Sing to the Lord. And this is from 2016, Little House Needleworks. These Are My Sheep. As part of the series that this is from. But this is Sing to the Lord. You see the little sheep, and there's some music notes there, and all that. I think I would probably use a different fabric here, because so the sheep would show up a little better. But Yeah, that's really cute. There's that. And then I bought this Priscilla's Pocket. This is a little hornbook finish here. This is designed by Bunny Smith from 2012. So finished on a little hornbook there. There's a pumpkin. And there's a black kitty, I believe. That's a kitty. That's really cute. Sorry about the snoring. And then this one is part of Plum Street Samplers Stacked Animals series. This is from, I want to say 2021. So this is Polar Pack. There's some polar bears. There's a little baby polar bear up there. Very cute. So anyway, there's that. So, hopefully, third time's the charm. That there won't be a problem with this uploading. I don't know. We'll see. So, you won't know because if there's not a problem and this uploads, it'll be fine. If there's a problem, you'll never know because you'll never see this. Anyway, I will, hopefully this will be fine, and I will see you next week, and it'll be February by then, and we'll see how things are going. And until then, thanks for watching, and I will see you next week. Bye.